Hey everyone, happy nearly March. Oh my god. I wanted to share a little update as to where I'm at in my studio. I've been really proud of myself. I've been getting down into my studio a lot lately and been getting down and doing a fair bit of painting, which is nice because I can um, easily get distracted with painting, and there will be days where it's like, if it's a beautiful day and I really want to walk, like, I'll just be out and about all day, and then I'll come back and I'll be like, ugh, I'm too tired to paint, or I just don't feel like it. It's not something that's particularly enjoyable every day, believe it or not. I think any artist would agree with me. There are days where it's like, no, I'd rather do anything but paint. Maybe. But February is National Model Horse Paint a Month. Just as it sounds, National Model Horse Paint a Month. You take a 3D model. Um, Hell, you can even 3D print one. And you work on that model for the entire month of February. You register at the end of January, the beginning of February, up until midnight, the beginning of February, so like February 1st. And then you finish up on my birthday at midnight, and you take a selfie of your finished horse and submit it. And before you take a selfie of you and your unpainted horse and submit it. And it's not a competition, it's just to get people painting. So like, I signed up my friend Stephanie and got her painting, which I'm really, really proud of her, because I think it's a good way to like challenge yourself to do something other than put paint to a canvas. Yeah, we work on canvases too, but they're four-legged. And with that, so this is not my horse for this month, but he was one of my aside horses, or mule in this case, yeah, had fun with this guy. I base coated him with pastels with burnt umber, and then once I had established a good base coat, I started going in with white and sort of blocking in where I wanted the white to go. And I just did his mane and tail, so they're acrylic. He is very, very nearly done. All I really gotta do is do the hooves. So the hooves will be kind of a shell pink because there's tall stockings here. There's stockings on him, and anytime there's white, it's it's just shell pink as opposed to like it could be a gray, I guess, but realistically, I think it's more like a shell pink. And then the eyes, and he's the new Schleich model that came out, the new mule, and I really like this guy. He's super cute. And other than that, this is my horse for February, and the end goal is going to be Strawberry Roan. Right now, it looks like he barely has any white on him. You can just barely see it. For that, what I did was I took so I base coated him in burnt sienna, and once that base coat was dry and ready to be worked over, and it was, I added some shading and depth to his coat by using red iron oxide shade and permanent red extra dark pen pastels. And again, I just take my makeup brush, and I really happy with the shade of red. I didn't want to be like a literal red, so like I literally could have painted him a bright red, but would that be realistic? No. And was I going for realism? Yes. So I got him to a nice tone of red. And then what I do is I take, for Ronin anyway, I take a chalk pencil. So this one is just by Cretacolor. I just bought it over at Gyrie's. I just go do little tiny finite hair ticking. You want it to essentially look like they have, little white hairs, all of them. So you have a hair growth chart in front of you, or you just follow the way the hair would fall, and you sort of create, tick, tick, tick all over him, little white hairs. And of course, the first look before the pencil is is blended out, it can be a little streaky, of course. So then what I do is I take a clean makeup brush, and I take a bit of white and I fluff out just a little bit of white, not too much, and I sort of fluff out the pencil strokes. Um, and that way, it creates more of a frosted look as opposed to, like, harsh streaking. And yeah, so today on this guy, after I'm done making this video, I am going to work on the white a little bit more. Um, I have a whole stack of pastels laying around but I'll take my pastel and kind of just refine the coat. I don't think I'm ready to finish them up yet. I'm thinking the hooves are going to be just gray. Black would just look a little too harsh against this color, I think. Then I gotta do the tail, which is gonna be kind of a little difficult because the tail is the handle that I use to hold these guys, and I want to do the tail in pastel. So yeah, there's my guy for February. He is the Maverick resin. He was super fun to paint. I kind of got a late start on him just because I sprayed him originally in gray primer, and that gray primer came out awful. Even though I thought I'd shook the can up very well, it came out really awful, and it was just really chunky, and I thought, oh my god, I'm never going to be able to work on this guy. So I have a little bit of purple power, and what I do is I take a Tupperware, and I fill the Tupperware up, and I dunk the model in there, and that helped really strip the primer really quickly and really fast. And then I just took sandpaper and just sanded off the old bits of primer as best I could. And then I've been using Duplicolor sandable primer, which I really like Duplicolor because it doesn't come out so thick. And once he was sprayed in black primer, and I was happy with how that looked, then I was able to base coat. And like I said, I was so afraid that I would not get to work on this guy just because I was like, oh my god, February's, it's really been going by, and I've really, been a little, because all that time to dry the primer, dry the base coat. So yeah, I still got a little while to work on him. Then I have got my little sooty palomino. So a sooty palomino is just what it sounds like. They've got more, I don't want to say dirty look to them. You can tell that they're palomino. The reference photo I was using, the horse had very dark chocolatey hindquarters, very dark chocolatey legs, had stockings. I actually added one just for kicks in the front. And I took with her, when I was first working on the pastels, I took an eraser pencil and I pulled up bits of the pigment to create these little subtle dapples. And this is my first time doing that technique, and I'm pretty happy with how they came out. I mean, they're subtle enough that's like they're there, but they're not, and that's kind of the whole goal is with these horses that are, different, like dapple grays are really flashy, but, this is more just kind of basic health dappling, I think. So she's nearly there. Just gotta tone up the white a little bit, paint the tail, do the eyes, hooves, what have you. I always save that stuff for last. And then, gonna be kind of careful with this guy. I have got this guy who I'm working on, who I'm really, really happy about. It's been a little difficult to work on him because he's very tippy. He doesn't really want to stand all that well, and I've been using the tail. And I've given up my method of double-siding or using tape to put them down on a lid because it just, with models like this where there's not a whole lot to work with, there's only 3 feet on the ground, they're little, it really doesn't help to, because I feel like they could just tip. And this guy I base coated in bluish gray and gray. And then once that was dry, I went back over that base coat with some gray and some metallic silver. So you can see the base coat popping through. Let's see if my light will cooperate. Kind of right there. And then just all the shading that you see on him is to help kind of give some definition. And I've just started with an eraser pencil and doing dappling. So they are starred apples, which they're not literal 5-pointed starred apples. They just sort of resemble like a mini pointed star. And fingers crossed, he is one of the horses besides my NaMoPaiMo horse that I am really excited about. I discovered how much I love doing resins. So for instance, this guy's a resin, and the gray I showed you is a resin. The gray was done by my friend, he was sculpted by my friend Karen Gerhardt, and the mold, the resin's name is Caprice, I believe. And I love working on resins. In fact, I was like, oh my gosh, like there's just something different about them. Like, I've got this little mule resin to work on, and I've been stripping off the old base coat, and don't know when I'm going to get to him. So yeah, that's kind of just a little look at where I'm at with everything, and hopefully the next time around I'll have finished my gray, and hopefully I'll come out looking really, really beautiful, and hopefully I won't have to strip him or redo anything, because I've been really, really happy with him. Yeah, it's been a learning curve to do the dappling, because this is my first time using an eraser pencil to pull up pigment, and they do get dirty, so sometimes you have to, just pick off the end and, and then go in there and work again with a clean. You can sharpen them the same way. These are one's pastel, one's an eraser pencil. So fingers crossed. Otherwise, I'll probably see you guys in either March. I leave for Japan in April. So I'm gonna try and get some projects done before I go out of the country. But yeah, happy almost spring. I've been seeing a lot of spring flowers lately. I've been seeing anything from Lenten roses to snowdrops and hellebores, Lenten rose, and crocuses, snowdrops, gosh, what else? Grape hyacinths. So everything's really starting to come out, and I'm really hoping that we'll get another snow though, because it's just been really, really dry. All right, thanks for watching my videos as usual. I really do appreciate the views, and for any of you new subscribers, thank you. I really like reading your comments. I really like the encouragement, and I encourage anyone at all, to pick up some paints and a horse and just get painting, because it's really fun to be able to challenge yourself and just have fun and paint a fantasy, or try your hand at a realistic color, which can be a test, but it's a fun test. So anyway, I'll see you guys sometime soon. Bye.